and we are here to break down, quite possibly, the worst trade in NBA history of all time, any sport. Rudy Gobert dealt to the Timberwolves for not one, not two, but 5 first-round picks. Tell me, in what world is he worth, like, more than Drew Holiday and worth more than DeJounte Murray? I mean, Rudy Gobert
This is a
trash.
similar trade. This is a similar trade for Paul George, the year after the offseason after he was third place in MVP voting. This was MVP candidate Paul George. This was the package that LA had to pull together. So the fact that Minnesota gave up 4 firsts, Walker Kessler, who was their first round pick this year, an elite shot blocker out of Auburn, plus a pick swap and Patrick Beverly, Malik Beasley, and one more role player, I think Jalen Noel. For Rudy Gobert, I'm just flabbergasted. First of all, Gobert's getting old. He's not on a good contract.
The worst contract in the NBA. No questions
Yeah,
asked.
he's got a very limited skill set, and the fit doesn't even work that well. You already have an all-star center. You have a top 3 center in the league in Karl Anthony Towns. Oh, he's a stretch big. He can play power forward, but with Rudy clogging up the paint, all the defenses will know to guard Towns on the perimeter, and I think it's going to be really limiting for Minnesota.
And, like, once you win a world championship like the Timberwolves did last season, why would you break up your core surrounded by Pat Beverly? Like, this team won it all this year.
And you go for a guy that has a bad track record of performing in the playoffs.
Let's talk about that, because this is my Rudy Gobert argument. Regular season, the greatest statistical defender. And there's no question about that. He's a regular season player. You get into the playoffs, and you give any coach with 2 brain cells to rub them together, and you scheme out of any game. Because what do teams do? They stretch the floor, they pull Rudy out of the paint, he is not coordinated because he's a big 7-footer, and you just drive, you cut, you kick out to the wings, and you play stretch offense. I look at the Pelican series. You have Jonas Valanciunas, great center, but he get easily schemed out of the game, and he becomes ineffective. So who comes into the game? Small ball time, Larry Nance. Let's look at the centers of the championship-winning team. Draymond Green, Kevon Looney. Look at the team of the Celtics. Robert Williams. All those guys are below 6'10".
Al Horford,
Al Horford. This is a
Bam Adebayo. These are guys that are going to get you championships. The switchable, more versatile bigs, not your traditional, paint protector. And Rudy is a very, very good shot blocker. He's the best in the league at it. You can't debate that, but when it comes time for the playoffs, you want versatility, you want switchability, and you're not going to get that out of him.
He is a negative playoff player.
Yeah, a big negative. And honestly, they're going to be running a lineup of D'Angelo, who is not a good perimeter defender, Anthony Edwards, who has the tools but has a long way to go, Jaden McDaniels, who's actually really solid, Cat and Gobert.
Cat's atrocious at defense.
Yeah, especially putting him out on the perimeter. And so you have bad perimeter defenders. They're just going to switch on to Gobert and force him out.
And you traded away
He's
Pat
just going to get
Beverly,
exposed. They traded away Pat Beverly. Oh my God, this is clownery, man.
And what's he on, like a $60 million a year contract?
It's like
50
30.
something.
It's like 30.
No, it's like
35,
50.
35.
It's in the 50s, bro. Trust.
It's not in the 50s.
Huge. I
It
remember
is not.
he was eligible for a $60 million. I think he got something with like 40 to 50.
No,
range.
no.
It's I think it's 40 plus.
I'm gonna look it up.
I think
41.
41 for a negative
That's
playoff
abysmal.
player.
No, that's
He is a role player in the playoffs.
that's a top 10 contract in the league in terms of just pure salary, I think.
All right, give this trade out of 0 to a million. I give it a 1.
For the Timberwolves?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll give it about a 0.5.
point.
I'm gonna be a little bit harsher.
Let's talk about the
real-
Jazz though, because holy
Yeah,
scam.
the Jazz, they fleeced them. They scammed them.
They got rid of a bad
So-
contract, a player who has bad chemistry with their star, and they've got assets now.
And what do they want to do? They want to keep Donovan Mitchell, and they want to retool around him. Now he's happier that Gobert is gone. That bad blood is going to be gone because he's not there. And now you have picks, solid role players, and a lot of good assets to go and build a team around Donovan Mitchell. And also, you have cap space. You now have $41 million less in your payroll. So that's got to help too.
All right, big winner Donovan Mitchell, Jazz organization, big L. Any Timberwolves fan, you will never win a championship ever in my lifetime.
Poverty,
Won't happen.
man.
Poverty franchise. That's how
I
it
was
be.
so excited for them. You know how much I love Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited for them to, continue to slowly make a push, but they did it with Jimmy Butler. They're trying to expedite it when there's no need to. Just take it slow and do it the right way. We've seen it time and time again where a team trades for a star too early on in the process and it all falls apart.
All right, we'll see you next time when the Timberwolves losing the first round of the playoffs.